Yo, what's up, chat? How's everyone doing? Welcome to another episode of After the After Hours with your host, TraderPrad. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Tuesday. Markets are, sadly, doing nothing at the moment. They're doing nothing. Another inside, well, I should not say another inside day, but a little inside day today on the QQQs and the SPYs. Overall, just a nothing burger if you're looking at on the longer term picture, the longer term vision. But still, nevertheless, opportunities were there on the market. So many opportunities, starting with cryptocurrencies. You had earnings movers all over the place. We still have a lot of earnings movers tonight after hours and tomorrow after hours, also in pre-market. So lots of stuff to still take a look at, even though if it's an inside day, you were probably complaining about the inside day because you didn't watch TraderPrad last night and you didn't look at the most important stocks on the day. That's the watch list, baby. So if you were here yesterday, you saw that there were so many opportunities for us to take a look at. Wonderful day, says Dieter. Yeah, exactly. There's so many opportunities today, even with the QQQ just being stuck in yesterday's ranges. The SPY being, I think the SPY was stuck in yesterday's ranges. Don't quote me on it. I didn't look at the SPY at all day. I was looking at the QQQ because I mostly trade the tech basket. So, I mean, monstrous opportunities nevertheless. But, you know, if you missed out on those today, then today, well, I'll walk you through some of the missed out opportunities. We'll also walk through some of the opportunities that might show up tomorrow, all the trading levels and all the earnings movers, basically. See where we can capitalize on, see what opportunities set up for us to maybe put some sweet dollars in our pocket. A lot of people already in the chat. Sumit coming up with the number one metal. Let's go. Hopefully that's for me, and if it is, thank you. Dieter coming in with the always coming in with the chat. I love Dieter. Could go out of AI before earnings tomorrow. You're talking about C3 AI, Dieter? Could go out of AI, was afraid to hold that one. Well, I mean, you heard what Apple did today. They're kind of going into the AI business, so they said they're gonna get out of the EV sector. They're gonna go into the AI sector more, focus on the boop boop beep boop part of the business more, and obviously they took off on that catalyst. AI coming in with the earnings report soon. Is that part of the reason why you said, ooh, someone's opening up the garage, but you said getting out of C3 AI soon, possibly because of earnings? Looking for a breakout in Palantir. It moved after hours. Okay, did it? Let me go check over here real quick, and maybe I can put it on my watch list if it did. A little bit of a move, not too big of a move, going into $25. Didn't we already have levels above $25 on Palantir? Yeah, so I don't know, a little bit of a move in the after hours. AI, does it have an earnings report anytime soon? Tomorrow looks like it's coming up with the earnings report. So yeah, we'll for sure look at this stock. It's kind of setting up for some trades too, but I think we got some time. Let the stock report, and then we can take a look at it. I think this one reports what, Wednesday? I think this one reports, C3AI reports Wednesday afternoon. So yeah, tomorrow after hours. So tune in tomorrow for the trading opportunities on the stock on Thursday is what I would say. But still, lots of stocks over here. Let's start off with the stocks on the watch list for the day. Let me take us into the main screens. Let's go to the full screen over here and show you guys the watch list. Here's the watch list, starting with obviously earnings movers. Lots of earnings movers over here to take a look at. FSLR, Kava, even some of the squeeze names over here. Lemonade, RKLD, SPCE. All of them have high short float percentages, and one of them specifically, SQUOZE, 100% to the north side. So we'll take a look at all of these positions. Some of the Asian stocks that have reported already, and something is going on with the Asian sector anyways. I think some sort of a cash injection. We're watching Pinduoduo, where we're also looking at Li Auto almost into all-time highs. So obviously Li Auto reporting earnings recently, and with this new Chinese catalyst that's going on, it might just be able to march into that $47 area, the all-time high area. So a couple opportunities over there to keep a look at. Baidu reporting earnings tomorrow pre-market. Novavax for you Moderna lovers over there, if Momo's in the chat at the moment. Novavax, something to keep a watch for. And obviously, so the big tech, we thought the big tech would be not in play today at all, because we would only care about Coinbase, Riot, Mara, and everything else based on how cryptocurrencies were moving last night while we were live. That being said, I mean, there were a lot of trade opportunities on Coinbase. Coinbase was just a lot of volatility and a lot of whippiness, so I stayed away from it. I traded Mara, BITO instead, not profitably. My most profitable tickers was actually Apple on the day, surprisingly enough, the one that I said I don't care about. We got a new subscriber, lights are blinking. Christian Trades, I like it. Christian Trades as in your name is Christian and you trade, or Christian Trades as in you're a Christian and you trade? I would like to know what that means. But I'm gonna think it's the first one. It's Christian. Your name's Christian and you trade. Thank you for the subscriber. Welcome to the TraderPrad family and the After Hours show. So taking a look at obviously the cryptocurrency market for myself, they didn't really give me too many opportunities. I'm just a shit trader, but there were so many opportunities nevertheless on Coin, Mara, and Riot. Mara actually made me work for my trade. At the end of the day, I did catch the short on Mara, which was nice. I'm dead. Name's Christian and I'm trading. I thought so. Okay. Welcome. All right, so this is the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, and you know where we're gonna start off with. Actually, you said look at Palantir. I mean, if you could add Palantir to the watch list, honestly, going into that 2550 area is pretty damn good. If we can break out of that 2550, I mean, Palantir does have a little bit more resistance up top over here that I could easily see coming. That line could probably get erased now because we're kind of close to 2750. I think if we do take out 2560, we can easily go see 2750, but we would first have to go into this area first on Palantir. If we're not really into that area just yet, that little pop in after hours doesn't really excite me too much. I've seen this stuff on Palantir before. You know, I've seen this stuff on Palantir way too many times where I just don't get my hopes up. It's just being a little optimistic, I guess, or pessimistic. I don't know. No, not optimistic at all. Being a little pessimistic because I just don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt. However, I'm no longer invested in Palantir, so I guess I won't get hurt. We're just looking for day trading opportunities. So if it does honestly bring in volume tomorrow with the way that it moved after hours over here, if it does go into 2550, there's a good chance the stock does go into 2550 area. But if it doesn't go into that area to begin with, then there's not even a chance that I'm looking at the stock. So keep that in mind for Palantir, Dieter, because this area is way more important to me than this after hour move. This after hour move is great, but this means that I need to see the stock going here, setting up for a bull flag here, and then setting up for a breakout through the bull flag for that opportunity to go see some of the levels in the north side. But if we just push up over here and reject this area, then that sets up for a nice little short. That's also interesting for me. But these middle ranges over here where the stock is kind of already traded into, I don't want to make decisions there. I'd much rather make a decision here. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. So watch out for Palantir over there. It will be on my watch list in the background, but not really on my watch list. So on the watch list, starting with stocks that reported today after hours, let's start off with FSLR. First Solar. I was gonna call it First something else. I don't know why. First Solar. First Solar coming out with earnings report. At a quick glance, I see that the report is positive. We're seeing over here with the green color. Ooh, but a little bit of a mixed report actually. 3% to the positive on earnings beat, but the revenue would be actually missed by 11% over here. I'm guessing the stock just got plummeted. Let's go check it out, man. Oh no, what? How am I wrong on this? How am I wrong on this? First Solar, it's a semiconductor stock? No way. I thought it was like a solar company stock. Same thing like maybe ENPH and SEDG. So, you know, I mean, how is ENPH semiconductors? How is, it's probably going to say SEDG is semiconductor too. Send, there's actually a company called Send. No way, that's jokes. SEDG is actually called electrical products, but ENPH and FSLR are called semiconductors. Okay, that's pretty weird. Anyways, I'm not gonna fight it. Our job is to look for trades, and that's what we're gonna do. So it looks like the move was actually to the upside. However, that 11% miss did not matter on this position. So I would like to see how the actual report played out. This move doesn't tell me anything on the stock right now. I would like to go see how the report comes out, and we're gonna use our trusty friends over at, why did I do 23? We're gonna use my trusty friends over at, I didn't even open the app. Give me a second, let the app load. Over at Benzinga. Benzinga is going to help us out with the news for earnings report. If you are interested in using Benzinga, please go check out the link below in my description. It will direct you to my affiliated link, and you'll be able to use Benzinga Pro software. Amazing tools in here, not just news. You got a squawk in the morning that you can listen to throughout the day. You got instant news. You got scanners. You have charting capabilities also. So great tool over here. Shout out to Benzinga. I mainly use it for news only. FSLR reported fourth quarter financial results after the bell. We already know that they beat EPS and they missed revenue by quite a bit. Quarterly sales clocked in at that's how much, which missed the analyst estimates by 12% and is a 15%, however, increase over 1 billion same period last year. So even though they missed the estimates, they actually beat same period last year. So that's kind of bullish, but they didn't really come into the estimates of the report that they were kind of looking for. Cash, blah 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 blah, restricted cash equivalents, less debt increased to the north side at the end of the quarter from 1.3 to 1.6 at the end of the third quarter. The increase was primarily as a result of operating cash flows offset by capital expenditures related to manufacturing capacity expansions in Alabama, Ohio, Louisiana, and India. India like my hometown India? Like what? Okay. A few years have been consequential. I can't even say this goddamn word, dude. We're gonna have to make a clip out of this one. To our long-term growth strategy as 2023, says the CEO. Over the past year, we scaled manufacturing capacity, mobilized at our latest announced facility in Louisiana, produced and shipped a record volume of modules, expanded our blah 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 blah. I want to see numbers, dude. Where's the outlook for the next quarter? There we go. Outlook. First Solar sees 2024 revenue between $13 to $14 versus 13.33, pretty much in range over there. The company expects the net sales to be between 4.4 to 4.6 and the operating income to be 1.5 and 1.6. So the EPS, I guess, not really a big beat and in range. They did miss out on this revenue that they were expecting, but however, that revenue was growing, so I guess that kind of comes into play over here. You can see how the previous earnings anchored VWAP coming into play right at the moment for the stock at 153-ish or so. We are seeing a little bit of a rejection into that 153 right now, but the stock did pop into 156. Let's use that daily chart to see if some levels kind of be, just show themselves as points of interest to me. Right away, we got something over here. We are not even anywhere close to that point right now. We got this double top over here on the stock. That little wick high might be of something of interest for me. There's something over here. We're nowhere close to that. Maybe that level comes into play if we can actually clear 165, but the stock has an ATR of $5, $5.83 is the ATR, so let's say $6 by rounding up. If it has a 2 ATR move, that means a $12 move, maybe we do see 177 areas coming into play, but for that, obviously 165 needs to get absolutely cleared out, and we need to use 165, 160 as supports for us to be able to see 170. Don't think we see that coming tomorrow, but right now I think we are right into these two lines. Let's kind of go back to the 5-minute chart. See, yeah, we're even below that. We didn't even get to that area, so we are looking for that area to come into as resistance for us on the upside. And for supports, we'll see how the pre-market sets up. I'm expecting the stock to kind of paint like this a little bit in pre-market, get ready to move up to the north side, and then we're looking for somewhere into 160 to 162.50 to show up as resistance. If anything, we see 165 area that we do have marked up on the line over here, showing up as resistance tomorrow, at which point looking for a nice short opportunity through it and looking for a long through the previous earnings anchored VWAP or any pullbacks of into today's high or any pullbacks into the earnings anchored VWAP over here from today, showing me support, building some sort of a long pattern into it and allowing us to get long. All right, Beyond Investor from Puerto Rico, let's hear about the squeeze. I'll tell you something, Guillermo, you're not gonna like what I have to say about Beyond Meats at all, but what it has done is absolutely SQUOZE to the north side, so we will talk about it. and we will have some fun with the stock for sure. But you will not like what I have to say about Beyond Meat. But I'm glad that the stock is working for you, and you are finally able to see some 100% moves on this stock. The shorts are getting SQUOZE, baby, and we might see some GME type of fun tomorrow and beyond. Who knows? Let's go find out very, very soon. We do have Beyond Meat number 4th on the watch list. We're only down 1 ticker so far. So let's go to the next stock, which is Kava. Now, whoever is a Kava investor in this chat is also not going to like what I have to say. I call BS on this company. I mean, who do you really think the stock deserves to be at this valuation? This is just a over glorified sweet greens, over glorified Chipotle. And the main reason why I'm hating on this stock is because Jim Cramer, when the stock IPO'd, was making a lot of noise about the stock. And you know, if Jim Cramer's making noise, it just means that you have to hate the stock. It's kind of the hidden rule of trading. So that's what happened. So, you know, I just have to hate this position. I'm sorry if you invested in it. But if you are invested in it, you basically got your money back and some. If you got it at IPO, or if you got it at the lows, hopefully you did not get it at the highs. And even if you did get it at the highs, you are getting an opportunity to get out for flat, or maybe even get out for more profits. The earnings report right off the bat, monster beat on EPS. Oh my god, the stock is going to be flying through the roof over here. New all-time high. New all-time high. Do I even need to check? Busted clock Jim. Yeah, reverse Jim. I mean, if you reverse this earnings per share, I'm pretty sure you got busted. Let's take a look at the stock. Didn't do anything after hours. Oh wait, this stock had earnings pre-market? Or was it yesterday after hours? What? Monday 26th after hours? Did we have wrong information? I guess the stock already had earnings report, and that's why it made its move over here to the north side. So yeah, I mean, pretty good move overall. I guess we missed out on this one. How come I never noticed the stock reporting earnings? Oh well. ER Feb 24. And you can see how, what is that line coming from? Oh, we just put that line in. We just put that line in. We got this high over here, which is the all-time high. We actually rejected the all-time high perfectly today. And if we are able to find support into $56, which looks like we are, we actually closed at 5666. That's pretty surprising. Into $56.66. Maybe we do get that breakout through 58, which is the all-time high, and we get to have some fun on this position. Recently, I have been looking for a lot, you know, this setup, this earnings. Not earnings, sorry, but this didn't I just put in an earnings anchor VWAP? Where did it go? That's the one. Okay. We're looking for all-time high type of breakout moves, and the Kava setting up for that perfectly. So let's start putting it into our notes. I forgot to put in notes for FSLR, damn it. So we're gonna have to go back to FSLR in a quick second, but let's put in notes over here for Kava. Beautiful pop into the all-time high, rejected that all-time high, and then dropped back and held that earnings anchor VWAP today. Looking for the stock to get back above 56.50. Show me support above 56.50. So we'll use 56.50 as my first resistance, and then above that, obviously, we have that 58 to 58.25 to keep an eye out for. 58.25, which is basically the new all-time high at the moment on the stock that created today. As for supports, you are basically using this first anchor VWAP area as support. You're also using today's low as a support, and if that stock does not hold today's low, which is at that point not a good sign, you're not really looking longs on the stock. It looks like that was just going to be a clear rejection of that all-time high, and we might just sell back a lot more on the stock, so you want to be careful at that point. So watching what happens into today's low, if it does go there. I just bit my lip. Oh, that hurt. I just bit my lip. So if you want to get short, you just need to wait for 58, and if you're looking for that all-time high breakout, wait for 58. At the end of the day, there's really no trade to be made in the middle of the ranges for me unless 58 comes into play. If we do get above 56.50, which is where we closed today, and we show some support above 56.50, I'm going to be very interested on the stock to the long side and see if we get another opportunity to go through the all-time high over here. Kava just went up on my important list by a lot more. I guess we're looking for basically a day 2 type of move to the north side. Does the stock have more continuation and a chance to break out through the all-time high over here, Kava? How easily I can be swayed from hating the stock to looking for a long on it. All right, FSLR. It's a little rangy over here. We did make that pop into 157, but I'm looking to see what happens above 157 into 162. So basically 160 to 162.50. If that stock can pop into there in pre-market and then give me a chance to short that area, I'm looking to short that levels for myself to the downside and then kind of retrace that stock right back into what looks like this area over here, 152. That's where the 50 period EMA is. We also have the 100 period EMA right at 157. That's where the stock is in the after hours supply. Surprise. All right, RKLB, no, sorry, FSLR resistances 162.50. Above that, 166. And then for support, you're basically using that 50 period EMA, also that previous earnings anchor VWAP somewhere into that 152 as your first support, and then below 152 I'm looking at today's high. What is that, 147? Yeah, 147.50 as my next support. And if that doesn't hold up, it's almost like this earnings report was completely not relevant for the pop that the stock made in pre-market. You want to at least see the stock hold up after making a gap close, right? If you want to see the position hold the gap at the very least. Reverse Kramer, says Swimmer. I like that. Always reverse. Isn't that a sticker or not sticker? A ticker. I can't even talk right now because like I have a lisp. There's like a chunk of my lip missing. I can feel it. I can feel it moving. I bet it pretty hard. Okay. Isn't there a ticker that's like reverse gym, S gym, short gym? I thought there was. It's a Twitter account? I thought it was a stock though. Yeah, what happened to S-Gym? Oh, what? $11 months into the stock opening, it got shut down. That's crazy. I guess it wasn't that bad of a good of an idea, huh? Lack of interest in the strategy called L-Gym to shutter just half a year after his debut. Now 5 months later, S-Gym is meeting the same fate as its counterpart. Damn, that's sad. That's sad. Well, that ETF is goodbye. That's what happened to that ETF. I guess don't short gym. Huh? Don't short gym at that point. RKLB, the next stock on the watch list over here on the earnings board. Let's go see how their earnings came out. Looks like a red report off of a quick glance. I'm just removing some of my older lines that I don't want to have on the chart anymore. Looks like this report came out red. Yeah, 19% drop on EPS, 5% miss on revenue also. So we are dropping to the downside most likely. Let's go see what this chart looks like. Yeah, nice little move to the downside, but an immediate reversal back into today's ranges. $4 stock. Does have a decent well, what am I trying to say? It does have decent volume on it too. I mean, for a $4 stock, you kind of want to see 50 million, 100 million shares, right? But 11 million, not bad. Hopefully, there are some opportunities over here. Maybe it drops down 10% and gives us a chance to get long again. But this reversal back into today's ranges basically is screaming that there's going to be a chance to get long through today's high for an opportunity to see a higher move to the north side, even though the report looked basically negative over here on RKLB. So watch out for these moves over here on the stock. I don't think I'll be too excited to actually trade it. The stock's ATR is only 27 cents, but I just wanted to point it out, and I do have it already charted in case it does bring in some volume in the stock in pre-market for me. Then I could get possibly excited to trade it. But look at the wall that the stock has to go through into that $5 and $5.20 area. There is clear support, looks like, right into that 435. Is that where we bounced off of? Yeah, right into $4, 435 area. There's some support over there to the south side too. We're just in the middle of the ranges. I mean, this doesn't excite me. What you want to see on an earnings report is the stock kind of trading in over here or trading down over here. When it's not doing that, and it's kind of in the same range that it's been in for so long, it's almost like the stock does not matter based on the report. No one's looking to actually make that investment. You've seen what happens when stocks do matter and people are looking to make that investment, right? So it's just RKLB just not making the cut at the moment for that list. So we're gonna go to the one that does make the cut for that list, and the one that Guillermo wants us to talk about. I love that name, and hopefully I'm saying it right. I think I am saying it right. Guillermo. Coming in with a 100% move to the north side, a big short squeeze, 15 million shares traded on the day today. If you guys have Robinhood over there, help me out and tell me what's the price off Beyond Meat currently in the 24-hour market, in the blue ocean market. Please let me know what the stock is trading at. I mean, this is a monster move. Insane. Lost for words, ladies and gentlemen. Lost for words. Honestly, I was expecting the stock to kind of plummet and make it a boring stock for us to the point where we are not even going to look at it for a trading opportunity. But boy, oh boy, was I wrong. And I'm glad I'm wrong, because this makes things way more fun. This makes things way more fun when a stock is basically going into that GME basket of craziness again, and AMC basket of craziness again. So let's see what happens on these upside moves. I actually know it went up 100%, but what is that, to $17? Yeah, right about $15-17 or so. That's about 100% right there. We ended up closing into that 70% area. Monster move on the report, and the report looks why the hell did we go up like this then, dude? What the hell is going on? Okay, let's go take a look at the report. Where's Benzinga coming in with the trusty report? Benzinga, shout out to Benzinga for all things news. Link in the description below. Beyond Meat reported fourth quarter financial results Tuesday after the close. Here's the look at the key metrics for the fourth quarter. Beyond Meat said the fourth quarter revenue decreased 7.8% year over year to $73.7 million, which beat the consensus estimates after decreasing. Shout out to them. The decrease in revenue was driven by a 14% decrease in net revenue per pound, partially offset by an 8% increase in volume of products sold. How does that happen? How are you selling 8% more products, but still losing revenue per pound? Huh? U.S. retail channel net revenues decreased 22.6%. How is the stock up 100%? 22.6%, and U.S. food service and channel net revenue decreased 25.9%. International retail channel increased 22.1%. Food service channel net revenues increased 30%. Okay, that's pretty good. We're seeing some better numbers over here. Plant-based meat company reported a fourth quarter loss of 200. We already see those numbers versus a loss of per share prior quarter. Company's EPS results mixed analysts for a loss of 88 cents per share. Beyond noted that its net loss of negativity was impacted by certain non-cash charges, including $85.1 million associated with the company's global operators revenue and $10.5 million from the other specific non-cash charges. In 2023, Beyond Meat undertook extensive initiatives to reset the business to where sustainable operations and ultimately profit growth. Much of the reset is now coming to view, said the CEO. Outlook: Beyond Meat expects fourth quarter revenue to be between $70 million and $75 million. The company expects to be full year revenue to be between $315 and $340. That's great, but what's the goddamn estimates? Thank you for not telling me the estimates over there. Our 2024 plan includes taking steps to steeply reduce operating expenses. Means more people are getting fired. Price actions and right sizing of our product footprint. So after so many years of still being in the business and having, who'd you have? Kim Kardashian as your product ambassador. You could not figure out what the right sizing of product footprint should have been already. That's great, Beyond Meats. You guys are so good at what you do. Both in support of margin expansion and years in the making core platform renovation in Beyond 4, the delivery superior health benefits and taste, and following announcements and initiation of our global operations review, taking certain non-cash charges pertaining to inventory assets that are no longer consistent with our path to profitability. Bro, you have no path to profitability. No one buys your shit, dumbass. No one buys your garbage. No one goes to A&W to specifically buy a plant-based burger unless you're like a vegan or something, you know? So no one buys your garbage. How is the stock with all these losses? Like, what am I actually reading in this report? And then what am I looking on the move over here on the stock? Fake me going to $20, honestly. It's stressing me out. Why am I getting stressed out on this move over here? The report just stressed me out for no reason. And now I'm angry. Now I'm pissed off. Now I want to punch somebody. And I have to go play Tarkov at the end of the night and shoot 15 Timmys in the face in a game just to get my anger out, just because Beyond Meat popped up for no goddamn reason. I mean, hey, like, I'm a day trader. I'm not an analyst. I'm not a predictor. My job is to look for trades. So why don't we go do that and put our rant aside, okay? Clearly the stock made an insane pop. We have levels up to $11. We're well above $11 over here. We're at now 15-ish or so. That's at 13. We're above 13 also. So looks like we're getting ready for a gap close. The gap has been closed. So gap has been closed. We're at 15-ish or so. We're in this area right now. And above that area, there are some levels of interest for us over here into $17.20. Let's just say $17 for now. And above that, we have a couple other areas of interest over here. I mean, are you kidding me? Beyond Meat is monster move. No complaints. Ain't no complaints. Racks in the bank. There's no racks in the bank, I'll be honest with you. There's absolutely zero racks in the bank, sadly. Okay, so gap has been closed. I do have to put that area, you know, I mean, the gap line doesn't really matter to me. It's more this 15 area that matters to me. So maybe I just delete that line. If it doesn't matter to me, then why do I have it? I'll get rid of it. So we got this 15. Basically what you want to see is the stock holding 15. If we get back under 15, we're re-gapping, we're reclosing another gap over here, most likely over the longer term run. We're gonna reclose another gap. After closing a big gap in one after hour session, we're reclosing another gap. Someone with the stock in Robinhood, please let me know what the stock's moving at in the after hours. Lucky guy, says Guillermo. Yeah, Guillermo, shout out to you. You killing it with this trade. Don't have to eat it. Just put some money into it and love it. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong with that one. Look at the stock moving, baby. Palantir may be at 25.30 soon. Yeah, I mean, I am interested in that stock. Dieter did call it out. Unless it's showing me 25.50 into pre-market. This is what I want to see on the stock into pre-market, honestly, because that could set up for a monster breakout. You want to see the stock kind of going here into pre-market, doing this, maybe going down after doing that, and then launching to the north side. That's kind of what I want to see from Palantir. It's in the shadow watch list, not really in the watch list tomorrow, but I will set an alert. Let me do that real quick. I will set an alert. Damn it, Prad's drawing goddamn stupid doodles on his charts again. Set an alert on Palantir right there into 25.30, and if it does come into play, we'll move that a little bit more. Yeah, 25.50, 25.40. We'll move that alert, and when it does come into play, we'll ball with the stock. Ballin'. Okay, so RKLB, not really that much of an importance. BYND, very important. So coming back to BYND, the $15, as I was saying, you got to see that $15 hold in the pre-market. Currently, I think we are holding right above that. Oh, we're rejecting that. Never mind. So the stock is not even above 15. I thought we were above 15, dude. I thought the stock was like here, not here. So we actually rejected. We did this. I mean, not that bad. If I'm picturing this right now as an intraday move, that's not that bad. So basically, this gap high is coming in as support, which is good. You want to see that support coming in. That's good. That's not bad. That's not bad. So if this area can show as support for me, then we could have a possible intraday move into 15 and kind of ranging over here. That would be a good trade opportunity still, honestly. And then maybe on the longer term run, we do get that breakout. Keep in mind the stock does have a high short float. A lot of stops probably got absolutely blown out. This area right here, this area right here is for sure stops. This area over here is for sure stops. And when we broke out through all of these, a lot of stops got triggered 100%. Now there's another opportunity to go through more stops. If the stock gives us that opportunity, we're gonna have to participate with that. But I honestly think with that clear rejection of that gap close into that $15 on this position, we have seen the high. We have clearly seen the high. I don't think we see that move coming into play tomorrow. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe we do see that tomorrow, right? Maybe we do see that tomorrow and you get to take the break out of this area into $15. So keep an eye out to see how the stock moves into pre-market. Clearly, we do have a resistance though, sadly, at $15 all the way up to $15.50 on the stock for the first spot to the north side. Earnings anchored VWAP coming in at $12.36 and also that $13.40. I'm gonna put that $13.50, $13.40 area as my inflection point. Basically, in pre-market, if we're already above this area, that's pretty bullish enough for me. And if we do go into the open and then come back down here, that might be giving me a short to kind of take a profit area into 1340 and then maybe an extension move to the downside. But a lot of this depends on what happens in pre-market. The stock's ATR 50 cents, and that tomorrow with the extended volume, with the higher relative volume, maybe we do get a way higher ATR. Maybe not just 50 cents, maybe $1, $2 range of a move. That's basically this range over here in my opinion. So let's see what happens on BYND tomorrow. Another stock with the similar ticker structure, LMND, BYND, I guess it's just the last two tickers. Lemonade, another stock with the high short flow component. Sadly, this one, the shorts are winning over here, I guess. They did push the stock back to the downside. ER February 24. And yeah, big move to the downside over here. We did pop initially before the earnings report even came out on very low volume. But eventually, once the volume kicked in, the stock finally decided where it wanted to go towards. And that is downside, ladies and gentlemen, LMND. So let's go take a look at on the longer time frame. Looks like, oh yeah, this stock I remember now. It made two monster pops back-to-back days. I was talking about this to another trader on my floor today, and I was looking for it to see if it could squeeze more, but looks like that squeeze play has kind of been taken out from the stock after this earnings report. Let me just quickly throw in some lines of interest for myself. Bang, bang, bang. Look at the report real quick. 23% beat on EPS, barely beat on revenue. I'm guessing the guidance is bad, or the other stuff is bad overall. We pushed back into yesterday, like actually yesterday. When I say yesterday, it's usually today, because I'm setting up for tomorrow. But right now, when I'm saying yesterday, it was actually yesterday's low, going into yesterday's low in the after hours and finding support. Honestly, that's not that bearish in my opinion. That could just be a little bit of profit taking. We're just kind of going back into this area and we found support over here. That's not that bearish. If we do get back under this is when I think there's some opportunity to look for the stock to go back into $15. But going into 18 is not that bad. So if we do see support going into 18 over here, there might be some long opportunities on LMND. So watch out for that area. But under 18, no longs in my opinion at all. No freaking longs at all. Now, the next stock is, I forgot to throw in a couple lines for me, which is today's high and today's low. Let me do that right there. Today's low, today's high. And notice how it says yesterday's high and yesterday's low instead. SPLK, the next stock. But this one is I think it's a buyout. Wayne, are you still here? Are you still watching, Wayne? And if you are, I think the stock is still a buyout. Am I wrong? However, it did have an earnings report today, And if it did have an earnings report, I don't think it should really matter on this stock because it has a fixed price of where it's going to get bought out from. This is just me kind of coming up with a theory. I don't actually know if it does matter or not matter. We're gonna find out right now. Let me actually go see what's the website I'm looking for. Alpha Rank? Yeah, Alpha Rank. If Splunk is a buyout stock or not. If it is, then it kind of goes down on the importance as a day trade tomorrow. Kind of goes down, and it is. There you go. Cisco is buying out Splunk for a 3 billion. I want to say 3 billion. I don't know how to read these numbers when people put in, you know, millions. Okay, let's say it's million. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. It's 30,000 millions. If that makes sense. What's that? 300,000. I'm gonna give up. 3 billion deal or 30 billion deal. It's either or. Deal with it. I'm not gonna worry with it. Why don't you just put the freaking number properly so idiots like me can read it, okay? Either way, it's a buyout company. 13.5 deal. Oh no, it's notes issued for financial merger. Looks like a $30 billion deal then. Big. That's a pretty big deal. Okay. So Splunk is actually getting acquired by Cisco. They did have an earnings report today. I don't think it should matter too much. Oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna do this website for. What is it actually getting bought out for? Cash consideration, $27.25. Huh? No, that's not right. That's not right. There we go. Cash consideration, $157. And it looks like it's actually making a little bit of a pop to the north side, but then it popped right back or dropped right back down. Still stuck in its ranges. Once the stock is kind of getting closer and closer to the deal, maybe it does go into that 157 area and then kind of closes into that 157. There could be some long here tomorrow. You know, honestly, there could be an opportunity. Maybe if we do get an opportunity to get long through 156 on SPLK. What was today's high? Look how I have to zoom in on the stock and the candle just looks non-existent. My goodness. What was today's high on this position? Right there was today's high. 155.68. Okay, I mean, I like that. If we can find buyers into 155.68, going through 155.80s, going through 156, I would like that opportunity through that, but I don't know how good that long will actually be. So we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna put in that couple areas over here. Inflection will be today's high, which is 155.68 for me. Resistance will be that range high of 155.83 for me, and then Splunk support. Basically, you're using today's low as support. 155.51, 155.51 as support to the south side to see what that happens on SPLK. That was a little bit of a boring stock, but let's go to a more exciting stock over here. Whoa, I heard that noise. Mikey Crahan, what are you doing? Shout out to Mikey Crahan, Vanessa, Snizzy, Elissa Trader, Joseph Wan, Pinkstrin, M Stone, all gifted with a membership. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mike, bro, you don't have to do this every time, man. You're amazing. I appreciate the love, dude. But you don't have to do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone, shout out Mikey, Laced Up Souls himself. And if you want to get sneakers in Miami, I don't know if you live in Miami still. If you want to get sneakers in Miami, shout out your boy Laced Out Souls and he will hook you up with the freshest kicks in Miami. Shout out to Laced Up Souls, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, all those new, fresh, brand new subscribers, brand new members coming in. How come these lights didn't go off? What the hell? Did it not recognize any of that? Event list. Didn't recognize any of it. Wow, what a shit tool. Anyways, thank you, Mikey. You're awesome, dude. Much appreciated. If you got gifted a membership, thank Mikey for that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to another squeezer. Let's see if it actually SQUOZE or if it's just another dead stock for tomorrow. SPCE. Ooh, looks like it might just be another dead stock for tomorrow. A little bit of a pullback, might not be that much of a dead stock. SPCE usually on earnings days brings in a good amount of relative volume, gives us opportunities to trade it with extra R-vol. But with this down move over here, it kind of kills the fun. You know, you want the stock to go higher. You want it to break. Can we get much higher? So high. You wanted to see it go higher. You wanted to see break out and start making moves to the north side. Without that, then you know, these squeeze stocks are kind of not really that much fun, because the people who make these trades fun are those, for a lack of a better word, those degen retail Wall Street bets kids. They are going long, and if the stock is going down, the need for them to want to go long, there is no need for them to FOMO behind the trade like they would want to with Beyond Meat. That's why Beyond Meat is so much more important, because you're gonna see all these Wall Street kids posting crazy theories, and you're gonna watch these crazy theories kind of formulate and maybe even actually show up on the markets tomorrow. And that's what the fun part for Beyond Meat is compared to SPCE. This down move kind of it's a sad move overall, but whatever. We're just kind of into today's low. We found support into today's low, and then we bounce right back. If there's any opportunities into this $2 area, which was today's high, also which was that range high right here into $2, there could be a bigger move to the north side above $2. However, the stock's ATR is only 14 cents. A bigger move in the stock is most likely only into $2.50 at best. So that's pretty much all I'm expecting from this position. I'm not expecting much more than that. They did come out with a flat / inline report, so not that bad of a report overall. It has a decent short float also. SPCE, I actually didn't show you guys the short flow percentages for any of these stocks, so let's go show you that. SPCE at 22%, we're rounding them up. SPCE at 22, Beyond coming in at about 38.24, LMND coming in at about 40%. I'm wrong, 31.68%. I got all of them completely wrong. 31.68% for LMND. So all three pretty high short float stocks. However, only one of them got SQUOZE, and that's probably the one of the most importance for us tomorrow. Looks like Space also changed their logo. I don't remember that being their logo. Yeah, okay. I don't remember that being their logo at all. So watch out, Space. I'm going to put $2 as a watch for me tomorrow, and that's support into 165 if it does come into play. We got a nice little range over here on the stock playing out on SPCE. Next stock on board, the Norwegian cruise line, NCLH. They moved around quite a bit today. At least I think they did. Yeah, big move to the north side. I didn't trade them at all. I was way too fascinated with the crypto move last night, to the point where I just did not care what any of these stocks did in their pre-markets for their earnings report. I was just focused on one thing and one thing only. I had horse blinders on, and I missed out on some great opportunities. Yeah, sure, but hey, we got some opportunity to look at these stocks for tomorrow. A beautiful move into this $19, closing at the high of day also into $19. Pretty bullish move overall. Kind of seeing for support into 1850. If the stock does get under 1850, looking to see what happens in today's low for some buying. Don't really expect the stock to go too much lower than today's low based on how volatile and how reactive of a move the stock had off this earnings report. Let's quickly go see what the report looks like. Missed on EPS by 52%, and revenue was up slightly. So what was this move even about? Not sure, but a monster move nevertheless on NCLH. So let's see what happens above 19 into this $20 area, in case we do in case we are able to get above it, that is. And if we do get above 20, maybe there is an opportunity to see what happens into 21.37. Is that all-time high? It's not. Okay, I was just wanted to make sure. So a couple opportunities over here to the north side. That move looks a little crazy based on the earnings report, but I'm not here to judge. Look at the amount of volume they brought in, and look at the way the candle looks for NCLH. So possible opportunities to look for longs through $19 over here for NCLH. I've never been on a cruise line. Do you guys know that? Never been on a cruise line. I think my parents might have. Maybe not. but I've never been on a cruise line. Beyond Meat, let me color that into red. Ani coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Ani. Much appreciated. $3 super chat. Any message with it? There's little... What the hell is that? Fist bump. Okay, I was like, flat bump? I'm like, what is that? What does flat bump mean? The picture of it, it's so small on my chat that I couldn't even see it. Fist bump, Ani. Fist bump. Appreciate the $3 super chat. 49.69 buy scalp. Is that what you did today? And is that why you got paid? I know you're talking about trading futures now. Why is that? Did you get a futures what's it called? Did you get a funded by some futures account or some shit? What happened? I see that you're trading futures now. I see that you had like what 70% win rate. Okay, Mikey. Let's see if we can pull up some of Mikey's pictures over here. This is what Mikey's win rate was today. Look, guys, you're missing out some of the best trading conversations and trading chats if you're not in our Discord server. Now, I'll be honest, I am not that active in the Discord because I'm actually trying to trade my own time. But whenever chance I do get, I do come in, drop in some messages, but I'm always reading the chat in case my chat doesn't know that. I'm always reading my chat, just kind of keeping track of everybody, trying to keep everyone in line and pull out the ban hammer anytime I need to. But this chart right here that I pulled up, this picture right here, I'm trying to see if you posted any other pictures. Yeah, 88% win rate. I mean, shout out to you, Mikey. Good job, man. Anytime Mikey has a good day on the market, oh wait, you can't even see the picture. Anytime Mikey has a good day on the market, he comes into the chat over here and just kind of splurges on me, and I appreciate that very much. So you can kind of understand that Mikey had a big day today. So Mikey looks like he buy scalped 49.69, or maybe he's just joking about that level, but either way, good job, Mikey, on that win rate. I love it. Good job. Ani, fist bump, like and subscribe, y'all. Let's get TraderPrad to 1K. We're so close. We're so damn close. What are we at right now, chat? What are we at? Let me go over here. Check. What am I at? YouTube Studio. Is that where I go? Check. YouTube Studio 953, guys. 50 more subscribers. Am I allowed to show the screen? Probably not. 50 more subscribers and we're at 1K. Let's get to that 1K. Hook your brother up over here. Send this channel to your friends, to your families. Create fake accounts if you have to, and hit that like button. Yo, maybe don't do that, and especially don't do that because I said it. I think YouTube might just ban me for saying that. YouTube, I retract it. I take what I said back, and I'm gonna go back to what matters more, which is the stock market content, before I say something more stupid that actually gets me banned. Let's get back to the market over here. And CLH with the monster move to the north side today, maybe some sort of a day 2 continuation. And for that day 2 continuation, you want to see the earnings anchored VWAP get respected. Today was the first day of the move. So for the day 2 move, you want to see the stock kind of respecting this area and then kind of showing you a bigger blast off move through 19, which sets up for that perfect move for me in my opinion. So we're watching that 1850 for the downside, and below 1850, the only level that I really care about, it would be the today's low right into that $17.55. So watching NCLH, it's not going to be a high important stock for me, but I will be watching it. I will also set an alert. How can I do that? I forgot. Oh, God damn it, I'm drawing dots in my charts again. Add an alert to anchor VWAP. Once per bar. Create. Ta-da! Done. NCLH alert set. Lowe's also another stock over there that reported earnings today pre-market, and you guys know how I just kind of ignored everything pre-market today that reported. Was more interested in Coinbase and cryptocurrencies. Probably a big mistake on my part, but let's go see how Lowe's moved in the big time longer term chart over here. That's a pretty good pop into a solid resistance on Lowe's, and it actually managed to break out of that, slightly breaking out of that, but sadly getting back under that previous 52-week high. And I guess still showing us that range matters. That range is still showing you buying clearly, and we might see another opportunity to go through this area. Right now, lows might sadly drop down in importance tomorrow quite a bit drastically based on how it traded. That's the previous earnings anchored VWAP. That's the current earnings anchored VWAP. This is the move today. They did pop up. They tried to hold the 52-week high as the support, as you can see over here. But the pre-market seller was already way too active and was kind of forcing the stock to the downside, sadly. So the previous 52-week high, which was kind of acting as support after the opening drive long, turned into resistance. As you can see, it kind of pulls back, turns into resistance, and then flushes to the downside. Had we gotten back above the previous 52-week high, that's the perfect breakout to the north side. Sadly, that didn't work out that way. However, the stock goes down, eventually comes back to this previous 52-week high area, which is very, very important to me clearly. So let's take a look at, or let's put that level on the watch. I think that level is honestly going to be the first resistance slash inflection point. By inflection point, I mean you want to see how the stock behaves going into that price, around that price, and if it's able to hold that price and get above that price and turn it into support, or does it turn it into resistance. So that's the inflection point. Very, very important for me to see what happens around there. But the resistance would be the new all-time high, which was made today around $240. So $239.50 all the way up to $240 would be the resistance. 240 on lows. And for the support, I mean, you want to see at least this bottom that we created intraday show up as support at the very least, right? That's where the yesterday's anchored VWAP is. However, yesterday's anchored VWAP I don't think should matter too much tomorrow. You want to see the earnings anchored VWAP matter more than yesterday's anchored VWAP. You want to see buyers that bought today acting as aggressive as they did today off the open. If they're not as aggressive today off the open, tomorrow at the very least able to get it back above 237, we might see a little bit of a bigger move back down to 230. So that is my support to the downside. I'm not gonna look for any longs before 230 if the stock is sadly under whatever that low is at 235.50. So I'm going to put in 235.50 as my first support, and then 230 as my next support on lows. So let's see what happens tomorrow on this bad boy. Now, going to stocks that reported previously, not in pre-market, but off of after hours or any other day before this, is first off Unity. Unity did exactly what we thought it would do, didn't it? We were looking for this move in Unity. We were talking about what would happen over here. I mentioned specifically you want to see what the stock would do going into pre-market and what happens around the earnings anchored VWAP. A nice little rejection of the earnings anchored VWAP, but then a nice breakout off that earnings anchored VWAP in pre-market itself, showing you that there are clear buyers in this area. The rejection of this area, the frowny face what's his face again? Michael Noss calls it. The frowny face over here on Unity usually sets up for a beautiful short, and we got that level rejecting again for that short side. However, that short gets completely negated when we get that breakout to the upside, and then that upside now uses the anchored VWAP of earnings as support. So you can see how that area turned into support. This area low was basically coming in for a test of supports again, and then it finds supports. The buyers who were active in these lows came into play again off the open, and that's why the stock just instantly just launched to the north side, because there was no selling in hand. It was just straight buying. So pretty insane move over there. If you're able to understand that type of price action, you will be able to kind of put that through the day for multiple trades. So that's what I tried to do. Did I trade Unity? I think I did. Maybe not, I don't remember. But Unity, beautiful move to the upside today. Let's see what happens tomorrow. We actually pushed right into yesterday's low. So my level was right here. We actually pushed right into yesterday's low and rejected yesterday's low on Unity. So that area is a little bit of important to me. We're kind of using just today's ranges. Let's zoom back out on the daily chart. Based on the daily chart, Unity's kind of, is it even a trade anymore? So looking for that 31 area tomorrow, see what happens. 31 rejects tomorrow, beautiful rejection and opportunity to short the stock right back down. But if we are turning 31 into support, there is no more shorting this position tomorrow. And for supports, you're probably just waiting for the stock to go back into that $28 downside, which was today's low, 28, and the stock can then kickstart a bigger down move as a swing trade later on. But if it does get above 31 clearly, then you're looking to be careful, because the stock looks to possibly go up above and set up for a swing trade long side after what looked to be a positive earnings report. We were reading that report yesterday. It looked pretty good. However, they did say that they're going to drop out of the hardware business and go into the software business. I said that was pretty bullish, but the market, however, flushed the stock anyways. That reversal is exactly what I thought the stock would do. It would go back into yesterday's low, which is exactly what it did. So shout out to that. And because of how bullish of a move this is, I do think 31 could show support, and we might just get a chance to see a breakout of today's high and a reversal into that previous earnings anchored VWAP right into $33. So keep an eye out above all of these levels. I'm just going to be a little careful, however, on Unity. I think I really only want to short Unity, and I'm going to wait for the stock to get under 31. So watch out for the stock. Zoom, monster move on Zoom, but I missed out on my trade opportunity on the stock, sadly. That was the trade right there. Missed out on the trade. It ends up breaking that trend line and gives you that Bella scalp. It gives you exactly what I want to see also. I talked about how you want to see the stock after giving that Bella scalp pull back and create a higher low. It gives me that higher low. Why didn't I just punch that long there? I don't know what happened. I just froze. I was like a deer in headlights. I felt like, the stock had a little bit more room into yesterday's high before we actually looked for any long, and I told myself that little consolidation is a fake consolidation and we're actually going to go back down. I was predicting, and predicting never pays. There's a little thing that I came up with today, which was it was because of the Apple. I was in an Apple long, and I get out of my Apple long way before than I needed to, and I fumbled the bag. I was long at 180. I was talking about this 180 level for the last 2 days with you guys. 180 level comes into play. There's tons of size on 180 today. Let me actually go to Apple so I can talk about it when that happens. Right there, there's tons of size into 180. It doesn't break 180 at all, and then all of a sudden Apple news comes out, or at least the news was apparently an hour late, and it just reacted later. So what happened was that size maybe spoofed. It removed the size. The stock went down, triggered all the stops. I do get stopped out, and immediately the size comes back, and you're seeing the stock just not go back under 180. It kind of just had like 1 or 2 prints down here, and then immediately runs back up. Luckily enough, I'm able to punch back long after seeing that nonsense of a scam of a move that the stop hunt did. I was like, no, you're not gonna get me. I'm coming back in here, and I punched right back into the trade. However, the mistake I did was I get out into 181, right into that 2-day anchor VWAP, right into where today's high was. I didn't think the stock had a move like this. No, sir, I did not. That was a monster move on this position. However, I do get a quick little scalp short after the stock clearly dies out over here and creates the first red candle. After it creates the first red candle, I then get short on the second red candle, and I get a quick little scalp to the downside. So not only did I get the long, I also got the short. Absolutely annihilated Apple. But my mistake, what was I going to talk about? I completely forgot. My mistake was, just being a deer in the headlights, which was predicting. I predicted that the stock would go down, and I did the same thing with Apple. I predicted that Apple will not go higher than this area, and it would just stall out in this area. The problem with prediction is you will always get punished. Sometimes you get paid. Awesome. Shout out to you. But don't let that habit get you in trouble. Prediction is never worth it, right? Unless you're an analyst, your job is not to predict. You're not an analyst, you're a trader. You're a swing trader, you're a day trader, whatever your job is a trader. As a trader, your job is not to predict. Your job is to analyze stocks analyze levels, and then anticipate what might happen. And the word anticipate might sound a lot like predicting, but it's not. You're anticipating, you're waiting to see what could happen. Keyword wait, patience. You're waiting to see what would happen at a specific level, at a specific derivative level, such as maybe a moving average or something, and you're being patient. Once that level does come into play and you see an actionable play off that, meaning if the stock is just ripping into your level and into your level, you see some selling and some stalling coming in, that is what you take an action off of, and then you have some sort of a setup behind it. Without any of that, you're just kind of, gambling, you're throwing dice, you're predicting, and it's always punishment. So prediction equals punishment, anticipation equals participation, and participation on good setups equals good results at the end of the day. So if you understand this formula, that's basically all you need to know, and the formula dials down to one thing and one thing only: stop freaking predicting. Okay, no more predictions, period. However, this job right now that I'm doing for you guys involves a lot of that, involves a lot of prediction. In this stock, once again, I'll rant about it. I predicted that it might go down and I missed out on the move that we were looking for. My scanner is built for these trades. I mean, I can kind of show you my scanner right now and talk about my sponsor for this next segment. Shout out to Trade Ideas. Go check out the description down below. In the description for an amazing software called Trade Ideas. They're currently having a short only contest that I completely screwed up today. I completely screwed up. I don't even want to talk about it. But they're having a short only contest where you could where you short stocks and you have a chance to win about $2,400 of an Amazon gift card. So go check it out if you're interested in that. I'm currently loading up my scanner that will show us, hopefully, the trades that I'm talking about. So there we go. A couple of the stocks that popped up. Zoom. So when the stock pops up on your scanner, you pull it up, you draw the trend line, you wait for the trend line to break, a higher low to come in, you get in on the higher low, you risk that low. The higher low is right around $66, that low is right around $65, so you're risking about $1 per share, and you're expecting at the very least $2 of a move. Now you get that very easily. The stock goes from $66 to $68, exactly a $2 move. You're getting a beautiful R to R exactly like that. Now depends on where you get entry. You could possibly enter right here in the 66.50s. I'm not sure you're gonna enter over there at 65.40, but as soon as that 65.40 drop comes in and it gets bought right back up, you're pushing more size on that trade right there and probably adding on that breakout, possibly taking some profits over here. You know what? Let's do it. We're gonna write this trade up right now and make sure we have it saved, because we fumbled the bag. We absolutely fumbled the bag on this stock today. Yeah, we're gonna write it up. I won't waste your time, but I'm gonna do one thing. I will waste your time with one thing over here, which is pointing out where my entries and exits could have been on this position if I was not a deer in headlights. So let's take a look at that part, yeah. Okay, so first entry in this box, that's where I would want it to be. Second entry on the breakout of this area, or even on the hold of this area. That's basically the 9 EMA and the 21 EMA, the hold of that area. And yeah, I'm basically done with the trade after that one. Maybe a little bit of a add on the breakout of this flag, and a little bit of an add on the breakout of that flag. But your stop is still the same after taking the breakout of the flag. Maybe for the flag breakout, you could add a stop here. But for the most part, on this trade, you could have a stop somewhere here after you enter, but you basically want to have a stop here. Having a stop here increases your risk to reward. If you want to make your numbers look better, right? But having a stop here ruins your win rate for the most part. You might still win on the trade, yes, but your win rate goes down a lot more because your probability of a win, let's say it does what it did over here on that candle, where it wicks right below that one little red candle and it wicks right and pops right back up and you get stopped out. Now you just lost money for no reason and you're gonna enter back in because you got stopped out for no reason. So having a stop over here is cool, but you want to, you know, increase your win rate probability anytime you enter a trade, and by doing that you should always give the stocks an appropriate stop to begin with. So when you give it the appropriate stop down over here for this entry, and then after the stock breaks out and that you add on that trade, then you can kind of move your stops up. You can have a soft stop into this area, then you can, after taking some profits out and adding more, then you can have a higher stop over here for the new lot size that you added. So kind of all those ideas are pouring in right now. I'm just gonna mark up where the stop for that trade should have been, and then the stop for that trade should have been somewhere. You kind of would have been stopped out, but the low of that, when you enter over here, it's basically down over here, so you wouldn't have been stopped out. Never mind. And now where would I want to take profits? So I want to take profits basically into this exhaustion, and then I want to add that lots back over here, and then I want to take profits into that exhaustion, and then probably close my rest of my shares right over here into the end of VWAP, right where the stock kind of breaks VWAP, also gets under the 9 EMA and the 21 EMA and trades under that. That's probably where I want to close most of my trades. So first trade, stop. No, that's not the first trade stop. First trade stops down over here. That trade stops over here. That trade stops over here. So 1, 2, 3, and their profits are there, there. So that's the kind of the way I want to have this trade set up, and I will log it up and everything after off stream in my trade write-ups. For those of you know how my trade write-ups work, you know how they help me. I've caught some good trades after writing them up. That's what you got to do. This will help you not be a deer in headlights. Now for a trade tomorrow on Zoom, most likely won't pop up on my scanner like the way it did today, but I mean, Zoom has popped into a beautiful range over here. You want to see that 66 area, or 66.50, right? Let's not bring in ominous numbers over here. 66.50 to at least show up some support. I said don't bring in ominous numbers, and somehow I just put in 66.666. I can't stop saying that number now. 66.50. The devil's taking control of me. Help me, exercise me. Anyways. Zoom 66.50 over here, support. You want to see that support being built if we do pull back. That's this range low. Once we do see some supports coming in, there's some opportunities for us to get long on that stock. Let's see what happens tomorrow in pre-market. However, I'll put Zoom as a little bit of an important stock for me. Workday, it actually did close that gap and it moved back into 300. That's what I expected it to do. I told you Workday will go back into 300 tomorrow, and look what it did. But no trade for me, right? No trade. I was actually telling one of my friends today that, hey, I used to be the calls guys. You know, I used to sit on a show and be that guy who used to give calls out, but calls don't fucking matter. I shouldn't be swearing, my niece is sleeping. Calls don't effing matter. Only thing that matters are execution. So even though if I called it that the stock is going to 300 today, I don't have a trade on it. It doesn't freaking matter at all. But let's see if we can make a trade on it tomorrow. It is actually a good thing because look, we read the report. We saw the report look bullish. We also saw that the stock held up support into the previous earnings VWAP. The previous earnings VWAP matches with the long-term level. So I was like, this 280 level is like the holy trinity whammy bammy level that has to show up as support. However, we do have a 275 low being made in the after hours. So that level possibly daily will come into play if we do get under 280. However, pre-market buying, more buying throughout the day, and we actually go into yesterday's lows almost coming into. However, you see yesterday's VWAP and the 2-day VWAP coming in as rejection today. So that's a little bit of a clear indication that whoever bought yesterday is either selling, or whoever sold yesterday is more in power than the buyers overall from yesterday. And today there's a little bit of buying coming in, but they didn't really do too much off the open today because the stock just kind of stuck around and didn't turn positive either. However, this is a pretty bullish move, rejecting 300 a little bit, not really that bullish, I guess. The earnings anchored VWAPs are below 300 also. These two-day moving anchored VWAPs are also pointing downwards. They're not really flattening out. So all things are basically showing me a little bit of a negative move over here, but I'm not going to use those derivatives as a trade. Oh my god, yeah, look at that daily candle. That daily candle is telling you a negative move 100%. So if I'm to predict at this point, I've been just telling you all day not to predict, Prad, not to predict. Prediction doesn't do jack all. Only thing you need to do is participate and anticipate. So I don't want to predict, but if I have to anticipate what the stock could do, I would anticipate around today's lows, and I would anticipate right back into $280. The stock does have about a $10 ATR, to be specific, has a $7 ATR. The 50 period moving average coming in, EMA, exponential moving average, coming in around $286. Today's low coming in around $292. I do think the stock goes back down tomorrow. We'll see what happens at 290. Maybe an opportunity to get short through 290 to go back into 280. That could be an awesome short opportunity on this stock. So I'm going to put in 290 to keep and watch out. We do have that clear resistance into 300, and then you could also draw that line up above 300 into 305, but I'm just going to leave 300 on my watch. If this stock gets above 300, trust me, the bull play is back on board, and we are going back long on this position. I'm just wondering what importance of this what importance I'm gonna have to give this stock, most likely on the blue color. Today, surprisingly enough, I'm having to color a lot of my trades. Most of them are either a little bit important or very important, except for RKLB. Not important at all. Now, some of the stocks that report earnings tomorrow pre-market, let me quickly go look at my chat. Sup fam, away tonight, just stopping in to say hi and show love. Yo, what's up, Oso? He was the guy I was talking about, that I was telling about the prediction and stuff. Yo, so what's up, Oso? How you doing? Hopefully you're having a wonderful night, getting some rest, getting some sleep in, and getting ready for that market show tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Oso streams live futures trading, so if you're interested in watching futures traders, go check out Oso on his YouTube channel, and also check out Think with Bookmap, because if you're not looking at Bookmap, you're missing out on a lot of information over there on the futures. Trust me, I would love to use Bookmap for trading. However, costs too much, boy, costs too much. Now, Baidu, couple of stocks over here report earnings tomorrow pre-market. Let's go take a look at Baidu, Novavax, TJX. Novavax ATR is only 38 cents. That's because the stocks is like what, a $10 stock now. NVAX, is it a $7 stock, $10 stock? Yeah, $7 stock. So pretty low price of a stock these days. I remember it used to be hundreds of dollars, but absolutely destroyed to the downside, sadly. We'll wait and see how the report comes out pre-market. I still haven't done my research as to what times these companies have their conference calls. I mean, there's only 3 companies we have to do research on, so why don't we just do it right now with you guys? That's the wrong website. That's the wrong number. Psych. TJX, let's start with TJX. TJ Maxx or TJX calendar earnings call coming in at 11 a.m. No fun. Reminder tomorrow at 11 a.m. Okay, tomorrow 11 a.m. Thank you. Next one is NVAX calendar close. You're coming in at a conference call. Earnings release. Oh, it's past event. Sorry. Earnings release. Where's your conference call? No information on conference call, sadly, on NVAX. That's scam. Stop scamming me. Calendar. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen too. I knew that was gonna happen. Market scanner. Baidu should not even matter because Baidu reports on Asian time period, and obviously is going to have a conference call in the Asian time periods, and it should not matter at all. Conference call, it's at 7:30. Honestly, I think well before 7:30, but 7:30 is what we see on this website over here. I don't think we should matter at all for the conference call side. For BIDU, maybe the American side, there is no American side, but we'll see. We'll wait and see. Honestly, it doesn't matter at all. We're gonna have some fun with Baidu no matter what, because the Asian sector is a little hot at the moment. It's spicy, muy caliente. So waiting to see how this one can pop up, getting ready to reclaim some of the previous boxes, previous ranges. Maybe 120 comes into play over here, 125. We have a lot of lines on Baidu to the upside and a couple lines on the downside, so we already have the stock boxed in for us, and now we just have to wait and see how the stock reacts off the earnings move. NVAX, TJX, and BIDU are the ones reporting tomorrow pre-market, at least the ones that I care about. Viatris, I actually know that company from a personal reasons. I think that's the company that I'm thinking about. Let me quickly do some research on this. I'm thinking this is the same company, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. They're reporting tomorrow. That's pretty cool. Pre-market. Maybe I want to watch this company for my own personal reasons over here. VTRS. But VTRS report. What is VTRS even ATR? Now I'm very interested. I can't tell you about the personal reasons, however. But VTRS reporting 32-cent ATR. Not a good ATR at all. A biotech company. Honestly, you guys don't have to worry about it. I'm just being a little snoopy for this one. But VTR is reporting tomorrow for those of you who care. A biotech company. However, we're gonna go to the ones that actually matter, such as Li Auto. My goodness, Li Auto with another one today. That's a big gap, another big gap right into all-time high. This is a highly shorted stock at the same time. Maybe not. I'll take that back. Let me take that back. Yeah, it's not a highly shorted stock at all, but it's a monster move to the north side over here, right back into all-time highs on Li Auto. So that's insane, ladies and gentlemen. I'm lost for words. I mean, these two candles look exactly the same. The only thing difference between these two candles is the size of the candle and the size of the volume that accompanied these candles. So you're telling me that the momentum to the upside is dying out, but we're still gapping out in such ridiculous ways? I mean, that's about the same amount of a gap. 8% gap over here and another 8% gap, and then pretty much the exact same candle structure, just a little bit of a lower width. So that's insane to me. Now we got a clear area to the north side that we're watching, right into that 47.50 to 47.70 area on Li Auto. If we do get into it and reject that, you're watching that as a rejection for the downside and a pullback back under 48. But if it doesn't get back under 48 or 47.50 for a short, are you telling me there's more above here? Like, what is this? Is this a new Tesla? Like, what are we talking about over here? When companies like Rivian, who actually did not have that bad of a report, broke down to a new all-time low. Li Auto, who actually had a pretty bad earnings report from what I saw. I guess it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that great either that it deserves to be what it's doing right now. So that's a monster move over here. Part of me is actually thinking right now if there's some sort of auto convention going where Li Auto was supposed to show a car. I think they were. Oh no, I'm thinking about Lucid. Lucid was supposed to show their Gravity Air something at a conference car show. Audi, Mercedes, BMW, they all backed out of that one. BYD was supposed to be in that car show. I don't remember if Li Auto was supposed to be in that car show or not, but this is a ridiculous move so far. 2 back-to-back days of insane 8% gaps and an even bigger continuation after an 8% gap. It's lost for words, honestly. So I gotta see rejection of that area. If I don't see rejection of that area, I might actually go crazy tomorrow. You might see my hair looking like Alex Karp, aka what's his name? Einstein. You might see my hair looking like Einstein tomorrow, just absolutely white and all over the place. So hopefully that doesn't happen, because I do like my hair, or whatever is left of it at the moment. Watching today's low right into 44.50, so watching how Li behaves into that 44.50 low. Once we do get back under today's high, I do think today's low immediately comes back into play. So Lee is almost the most important stock tomorrow based on the open. This will be a very, very important stock for me right off the open. Looking for a short, even if it doesn't go into 47.50, if it starts rejecting today's high, looking for a short right through the reject of today's high. Square looking to go back into that $80, but I might just be turned off on Square at the moment. I mean, there's other stocks moving around with better ranges, better volume, but if you want to be interested in Square, go ahead, be interested in it. It wants to go back to 80. I can't speak, I'm losing words. The other stock that we're actually interested over here that's going crazy, has a high short float, Carvana with the big move over here into $90 almost, very, very close to 90 now. This is insane. Are we seeing Carvana 100 soon? Like, I don't know what to expect from these markets anymore, man. Markets are moving like it's pre-COVID. Markets are moving like it's pre-COVID. Do we really think Carvana belongs in the $100 areas? If we do, you guys are smoking some good ganja, and you guys need to sell me that, because there's absolutely no way Carvana belongs here, man. Zero reason Carvana belongs here at all. Period. But who am I to say that, right? Carvana with the monster move today. So watch out for the stock. It could be another continuation. There you go. It could be another continuation to the upside. Shorts are obviously getting SQUOZE. I mean, this is just absolutely insane moves. It doesn't make sense that people are buying longs here. It only makes sense that the shorts are getting SQUOZE for me. And if the shorts are getting their butt SQUOZE, absolutely, they're looking for more moves up here. I think Carvana might be the #1 stock on Swaggy Stocks. Let's go check it out. Oh, it's Soundhound. Of course, it's Soundhound. Carvana's up there too. 56 positive, 68 negative posts. Yo, you guys are smoking weed now up there, huh? Okay, 68 negative. I guess they're kind of catching on to it. They're now like, okay, the stock is going too much higher. Maybe dump it. But Soundhound over there kind of going crazy. Bumble, what's wrong with you guys, man? Nvidia and Apple, are these guys changing? They're evolving, guys. They're evolving. They're like an AI. They're going sentient. They're evolving. They're learning. Oh my goodness. What am I watching right now? These guys are actually evolving. They're talking about earning stocks like Hims, eBay, SMC. I guess SMCI makes sense. Pan W. These guys are evolving. If the Apple posts are not about 180, oh, it might be about the AI and the EV, honestly. It might be about that. But Bumble doesn't make sense why they're talking about Bumble. Anyways, not my problem what they're talking about there. Those idiots are up to no good ever. But the Carvana 83.50, man, break out of this area. More shorts getting SQUOZE, a bigger move. And if you're not watching Carvana tomorrow, you're clearly going to miss out on some craziness, either to the downside or to the upside. Here is Bitcoin. We saw that monster move yesterday night. We saw that monster move today. Here's the overnight session. Sadly, not doing a whole lot. It's just stuck right now. I do have a line drawn based on the 5-minute chart from today's action. Let me show you that line. We are holding that area right now in the after hour session. So basically, we saw this number like 7 times today. 5,665. That's an amazing number. Look at that number. 5,665. Basically, you don't want to see 5,665 or even this low piercing back under. Let's just say 56,000. You don't want to see the stock. You don't want to see BTC, Bitcoin getting back under 56,000, because that might ruin the game for us on stocks like Coinbase, Mara, Riot, all of which got absolutely pummeled today. They got destroyed to the downside, whereas the Bitcoin ETFs didn't really do much and traded sideways exactly like Bitcoin did throughout the day today. And that's why I always say you want to be careful relating Bitcoin movements to Coinbase, to Mara, and to Riot. They don't always have to 100% correlate with Bitcoin, and most of the time they actually don't. They do, however, sometimes correlate with it well enough to the point where it makes people believe into this fairy tale that they always correlate. No, just because it did it once doesn't mean it has to always. However, BITO is directly correlated to Bitcoin. When you're buying BITO, you're directly investing into Bitcoin, and when you're buying Bitcoin, BITO might actually, no, you're not directly investing in BITO, but at the end of the day, it tracks Bitcoin and it correlates perfectly mathematically, whereas Coinbase, it has its own reasons to move around. Some days it talks about court cases, some days it talks about earnings reports with the daily active users and stuff like that. So companies and ETFs are completely different. That's why if you traded Mara today and you got beat up and you're going, oh my god, I got absolutely scammed, this company is moving without Bitcoin even moving, what kind of scam is this, the market makers are after me, if you're one of those babies crying and moaning about getting destroyed on the downside over here, then you deserve it. I'm sorry, but you deserve to lose your money because you're an idiot. People who are smart enough know better, get better, or don't get better, and I'll just take all your money in the market, thankfully. So keep on doing that stupid shit. But however, for Mara, I did try a long, it didn't work out. Then I flipped short, beautiful short to the downside on Mara. Later on, I got a short over here too, and then I got stopped out on the short over here on Mara, and I gave up on the position, completely gave up on it, and then I didn't really care about what I wanted to do after. However, on Riot, I think I tried a long twice. I tried a long here, got burnt out. I tried a long here, got burnt out. I said, I'm done. I don't care about Riot anymore. I'm not going to look for another trade on this position. I tried twice. Usually my rule is 3 and done. I did 2 and done. I walked out of this trade. The rant, however, over here was about, if you want to trade Coinbase, do so in a more pattern-based way. Do it more so on the specific stock itself based way. Look for levels on Riot. Look for levels on Mara. Use maybe mathematical equation levels such as, the moving averages, Bollinger Bands, or whatever it is that you like to use. Maybe RSI, oversold, MSI, even BOD, whatever BS indicators you like to use. Use like a full pattern and a system to trade it. Don't just simply copycat trade Bitcoin. You will get hurt. You will get hurt. So be careful on these ones. But I'm looking for more fun moves over here on the Bitcoin industry nevertheless. Looking for more opportunities on Coinbase, Riot, and Mara. So we'll wait and see what happens over here. Ethereum's having a good rise too, also, says TH. My eye just got really itchy. I guess it's because I'm complaining too much and I'm preaching too much right now. So let's go check out ETH/USD. Ethereum getting a great push to the north side indeed. Yeah, my Ethereum just now turning positive. So obviously I'm very happy. No complaints on that side. Ethereum finally getting to the positive side for me, but I still want more, man. I'm greedy. Give me more. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Let me see that money all the way upside. Take Ethereum to the new all-time high, but I think Bitcoin would need to go to a new all-time high. If Bitcoin go to $69,420, I'll take some out. I'll take some out, and then I'll hold the rest for 100K. Does that make sense, chat? That makes sense, right? If Bitcoin can go to $69,420, I'll take some out. Where is that? Maybe I just throw an order out right now. Good till forever. That will be a new all-time high. $69,420. Okay. 50% target. If we get to that level, we're taking out 50% of Bitcoin off my portfolio. Okay? Deal, chat. Let's see what happens. So coming back to our watch list, however, we were on the cryptocurrency market, and after the cryptocurrency market, it's basically the semiconductor market. I think I'm just gonna leave semiconductor market alone at the moment. They're kind of stalling out. AMD doesn't really want to go through AMD doesn't want to really go through all-time high just yet. It actually looks like it's gearing up for it though. I see you, AMD, bouncing off the earnings anchored VWAP 4 days in a row now, including today, that is, and it is gearing up like it wants to go back to that all-time high. I mean, I'll still watch it, but unless it goes through 185 or goes into 185, it doesn't really have that much importance to me. Nvidia has been moving around still. It still has a $30 ATR, but it doesn't really excite me right now. I think we're waiting for some sort of a more playable action, a more playable pattern to show up on the daily chart for me to play with. And for that I mean 740. Like, I want to see these lows being tested, that way I can get into the longs and kind of ride it back into 800. I just don't feel good taking the longs here at the moment unless we kind of go back through 800 and really go see that all-time high of 823 again. So Nvidia, I'm just leaving this one alone because there's other stocks of importance right now in the same sector and of lower price also, so you can kind of manage these positions much better than the other ones. Let me just quickly, what the hell happened here? Color orange, thank you. Let me just quickly mark up AMD as a little bit for higher importance for tomorrow. ARM not really that important until March 12th, so we'll wait and see what happens. ARM, however, turning that previous consolidation high of 140 into some sort of a support. Actually, that looks like around 137. That's today's low around 137, possibly turning 137 area into some sort of a support, so you could watch that. And then if we do get some supports into there, possibly a long back through 140 for us to play with. Micron looks like it wants to go back through 93 into that all-time high of 97.50. So watching Micron 93 and then above 93, 97.50. Apple 180 came into play and mamma mia, was at 80. Beautiful. 180 held. Now, I don't think 180 comes into play today or tomorrow based on how Apple traded today. And at the same time, based on how Apple traded today and how other stocks like Google, Amazon have been kind of getting beat down, and they finally found a bottom too, looks like, with the help of Apple. I do think QQQ tomorrow rallies, so watch out for a good long move over here on the overall market. QQQ, SPY possibly finally having a little bit of a relief. Both of them had an inside day today. Nice little inside day on the S&P 500, barely up on the day, up 0.19%. QQQ was down a little bit, but also got back to positive with the help of Apple. Got back to 0.24 positive on the day and was kind of having an inside day over there. But overall, opportunities were there, especially on Apple. We've been singing this song on 180 on Apple. We finally got that beautiful long here, but now I sadly don't think 180 will come back into play. We might just have to play with what happened with today's high right into that 184. 184 actually sounds like a level from way back in the past if I remember playing. I can't remember if it was 184 or 186 right now. Let me kind of zoom into the daily chart. It sounds like 184 was the level, right? That's 183 right there. Let's go to the 60-minute chart, put in regular trading, and then we can just draw in our own lines, right? Maybe we don't have to guess, Prad. We can just kind of chart it out, right? You don't have to guess. Bang! We got our levels of interest, and look at that, surprise surprise, the earnings anchored view up right at that 184.85, 185 area, possible resistance into that area. We got rejected into that area multiple days, but with the catalyst that the stock had today, if we go back through 185, are you telling me the stock doesn't have a bigger move to the north side? So I'm watching that 185 opportunity on Apple, and if 185 does not break out, we got a beautiful short right back into 181, 182, 183s over here on Apple. So 185 is a clear level for me right off the bat, keeping an eye out for that level. Amazon sadly wanted to hold into some of these levels, but eventually breaks down. So that also breaks my heart on Amazon, because we were so close to kind of, you know, having some fun with this stock. But I think the story's not done yet. Honestly, I don't think the story's done yet, especially with what I think will happen with the QQQ and the SPY tomorrow because of Apple. We might just get a chance to see Amazon waking back up and some of the other stocks waking back up too. AMD going into 185, Apple going into 185. Oh, surprisingly enough, they're both the exact same numbers. Tesla which was at 200 recently. What is that Tesla at today? Still at 200. So Tesla kind of waking up too. So we're actually seeing all of them wake up at the same time. That sets up for a wonderful recipe to the north side. So watch out Microsoft, watch out Meta. Meta might be the one you might be to focus on a little bit more. That 490 level coming back into play on Meta. So watch out that. Watch for that one. Above 490, you have 494.50, 490, 494.50. So watching to see what happens over there. We already have Apple 185. Did I have something on Amazon that I wanted to keep an eye out for? What is that high right there? 175, 176.50 something, 176.37. I don't really know what I want to do with Amazon tomorrow. Maybe I'll see in pre-market if it gets active, or if my manager says something on Amazon, maybe I'll put it on my notes there. But for now, I don't really know what I want to do with Microsoft. Netflix getting back above 600, and I've been screaming the song to you guys that Netflix doesn't get exciting until we get back above 600. So finally getting to 600, taking out that 596 high from previously, 597 high, sorry, taking out that 597 high from previous, getting above 600, and now closing right into 600. I think a pullback into today's low and hold into today's low, or a pullback into 597 and holding into 597 is a very bullish indication on the stock, especially if the markets are bullish tomorrow too. So you're watching 597, under 597 you're watching 592. As for resistances, you're watching today's high at 605, and your inflection is 600. Inflection meaning it could act as a resistance, it could act as a support. It's a level of interest that you want to keep on watch for the most part. Not really a level you want to trade off of, but a level of interest that you might want to make decisions based on how the stock sets up into that level. Not a level that you blindly trade off of. Then again, there's never a level that you want to blindly trade off of, right? That's just stupidity. Coin and Mara bounce off of weekly anchored VWAP, says Dieter. Okay, I like those comms, Dieter. Good comms, good comms. Sky Fairy in the chat. What's up, Sky? No joke, 69,651 will be a level for BTC, so pretty close. 69,420. I'm taking a profit at 69,420. That's it might be a joke of a level, but that's a level. That's it. But tomorrow I want to be on my favorite rocket ship, on the Apple rocket ship. Let's go, baby. Let's go see if the Apple rocket ship takes off tomorrow. Does this one have some moves above 185? I want to see that. Sadly, I don't think so. We might just see 185 getting rejected. Hey, give me my marker. 182. Okay. I can see that anchored VWAP coming here. We do a little bit of this, we do a little bit of this, and then we break out, and then we reject, and then we break out, then we reject, we find support, and then we break out. That's what I'm picturing right now on Apple. That's exactly what I'm picturing. Tesla, I mean, you do have today's high above 200, but you're still watching that 200 area for some sort of a play. This is the 2-day anchor VWAP. That's the today anchor VWAP. You could use the anchor VWAP pin setup, kind of like breaking out over here, pull back support, and then breakout. This is where you get long, not on the breakout. You get long on the pullback and hold of that area. So looking for that opportunity, maybe back into holding today's anchor VWAP, or reclaiming today's anchor VWAP and then using today's anchor VWAP as some sort of a support like that. Will be interesting for us to look for a trade on Tesla tomorrow, back into today's high, and then maybe even higher than today's high, depending all on what the market wants to do tomorrow. So let's go take a look quickly at QQQ. A nothing burger of a move today, but very close to all-time highs still, right? Very close into all-time highs. Nothing really to be worried about for the market. Still closing positive pretty much every single day. So I think with the help of Apple, I think I've said this enough times already, I think with the help of Apple, we could actually see some fun moves to the north side tomorrow on the overall market. I thought I took a screenshot of this already and posted it into my notes, but I didn't. So let me take another screenshot, put it into my own notes over here. Bang, bang, I shot you down. All right, I put it in my notes, and now we're gonna talk about it. Tomorrow's economic calendar. Let's see what the economic calendar is looking like. My mom's messaging me probably because I'm too loud and it's almost 10 o'clock. I need to stop streaming. Oh, my dad's saying put alarm. Oh, thankfully they're not mad that I'm screaming about trading at 9:45 a.m. in the morning, or at night morning. Okay, talking about where are we? QQQ. Oh, economic calendar. Economic calendar over here. 8:30. Nah, I don't know how important that is. I mean, it's a GDP number, so that's got to be important. But that number, I don't know how important that is. I guess they said that it's a 2-star number, so I guess it's a little bit important, not that important. We'll see what happens. Crude oil numbers come out at 10:30. That's every Wednesday, and every Thursday also you have what's the number that comes out Thursday? Gas numbers. Yeah, gas storage. There you go. So crude oil Wednesday, gas storage. What the hell? Crude oil Wednesday, gas storage on Thursdays. You're waiting to see what happens over there at 10:30. If you're looking at stocks like CVX, Oxy, maybe the CL futures and so on. Besides that, nothing really anything until 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, you got basically 3 Fed members coming on the mic. You got Bostic at 12 o'clock. You got Collins at 12:15, and you got Williams at 12:45. So all 3 of them possibly likely to move the market during lunchtime. So be a little bit careful around that time. Hopefully they give you some trading opportunities and not really burn your trades by tricking every single stop along the way. So be careful around 12 to 12:45 to 1 o'clock or so. But besides 8:30, looks like nothing really too important for the markets to move off of. So maybe we just move on the stocks that are moving on earnings, and we just move off of the good catalyst that Apple brought in today. Once again, for those of you who don't know that catalyst, Apple is going to cancel their electronic vehicle plans, their EV plans, and they're going to go focus more on the AI side of the world. They're going to go make their Siri, I guess, into a fully AI supported character. I guess that's their plan, right? I don't know why Microsoft, if you guys know the whole story of Halo, the video game, has this AI kind of character called Cortana. Now that word might just sound familiar to you. Some of you who are not gamers and use Windows software, Cortana might sound very familiar to you. Cortana is actually the AI from the game Halo, and they kind of tried to do something cool with it, but they completely failed with the implementation of Siri. They tried to battle that with the whole okay Google, with the whole hey Alexa, Alexa stop, and with the whole Siri thing, right? They kind of try to battle that, and they failed completely. Part of that is probably because they don't really have a mobile device to compete against. Alexa, stop listening to me, please. Alexa, stop. Thank you. The lights was blinking. It was tripping me out. It was like listening to me the whole time. I guess it still is when the lights are not blinking. But yeah, Microsoft didn't really have a chance to compete with this. But at the end of the day, they did try to implement it into laptops and computers and so on. I'm not really sure how good it is because I don't use it on my desktop. I would imagine it's really good on like the Windows Surface tablets and so on. I would imagine it is at least. But I've never seen anyone use it as much as people like to use ALEXAs or their Googles or whatever, their home products. So I think Microsoft really dropped the ball on that Cortana thing, because as a gamer, as a lover of Halo, I would have loved to see a lot more come out of it. Now, with the help of OpenAI, I would really like to see that integration coming into play, where Microsoft integrates Cortana into OpenAI's AI structure, where Cortana is able to use OpenAI's algorithm, and now it's basically acting as a sentient being, giving you help in any single way you want. I guess it acting as a sentient being is what people don't want, but it's able to think and help you in all ways AI, kind of like what Cortana does with Master Chief. I think that would be such a big achievement by Microsoft, and then the fact that they haven't done that yet is such a big drop of the ball by them. Like, if I was in Microsoft, I would look to force that thing. Cortana was a hottie, says Angry Buddha. You're a hentai lover, aren't you, Angry Buddha? You're a little hentai lover over there. For those of you who don't know who Cortana is, let me show you exactly what she looks like. She was a little hottie with her short hair. See, that's so wrong. Like, that's not what should show up when you Google Cortana. They're shutting it down? That is so sad. They shut it down in 2023? That is so sad, guys. You don't understand how sad I am because of that. There's so much that they could have done with this character and this idea. You have to spin it up, dude. You have to spin it up and you have to make it work. This right here, that's not the OG Cortana. That's my OG Cortana right there. That's my OG Cortana. I guess Halo Alpha. I don't remember playing Halo Alpha. That's the TV series? Wait, that's not the OG Cortana. Maybe I'm getting confused with the TV series Cortana versus the OG Cortana. I think this is the OG Cortana. How dare I get her confused? Yeah, no, the TV Cortana was meh. The TV show is okay, watchable for sure, no denial. I've seen the first season, it was pretty good. Yeah, this is not my original Cortana. I just kind of went full dummy over there. That is the original Cortana. And my god, what a cutie with her short hair. She reminds me a lot of Ex Machina. Like her character build is a lot like Ex Machina. What are the chances that Ex Machina character build actually stole it from Cortana? You guys know the movie Ex Machina? Or is it Ex Machina? That's pretty damn close to Cortana if you ask me. Right? Should I buy Cortana? But I need to involve, like, I need to have OpenAI too. I need to put OpenAI and Cortana together and make it work. Or we get Elon Musk to buy Cortana from, we just buy the character Cortana, the rights for Cortana from Microsoft, from Bill Gates, and not call Gronk anymore. What the hell is Gronk, okay? We get Gronk to turn into Cortana, and then we use the new AI Elon Musk is creating to become Cortana. Now that's genius. I think I just create a new business proposal for Cortana. I run this whole business idea for Elon Musk, and I'll take the cheap price salary of $300 million. Call me Elon if you want to hook me up. The cheap price, dude. That's a cheap price. Elon, very, very cheap. Call it Cortana X.AI. That's a genius idea, bro. Genius idea. Hire me. That's my idea. Mikey did not come up with that idea. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's 9:50 p.m. It's hella late. We talked about everything we wanted to talk about. We even got to cry a little bit about Cortana over here. For those of you who are my gamers, you understand my pain. You understand my feelings. That's so sad that Cortana is completely a deprecated software. Microsoft stay dropping the ball. I think the only good thing you can do at this point is buy out good companies and not really innovate yourself in any way because you guys suck. So shout out to you on that, Microsoft. Google dropping the ball big time with Gemini. Google dropping the ball big time with Gemini. Big time. But we'll see what happens with the market tomorrow. Apple wants to come into the AI market. We'll see how Siri turns into a good AI product, I guess. We'll see how Siri comes into being an AI product. Sora, OpenAI Sora has been coming out with some crazy demonstrations. Maybe we actually talk about these crazy demonstrations right now. Because, I mean, Sora has been coming out with some wild new demonstrations that I think you guys need to see. What the hell is this? Maybe these are the old ones. I want to see the new ones. No, not this either. Not this either. Not this either. How can I go to the next one? Where's the butterfly one, dude? I want a butterfly one. Where's the butterfly one? I want the butterfly. All right, screw you. Instagram, OpenAI. Where's OpenAI? OpenAI. Okay. Was this the one? Or was the butterfly one fake? Oh, there you go. There's the butterfly one. Okay, so they put out more videos. I need to go watch all of these. Interesting. Okay, so this is the video that I was talking about. This video has two prompts. The first one was a drone flying through like a Roman Colosseum. The second prompt was a butterfly kind of swimming through an ocean. What this did was create a beautiful video of a drone flying through Roman Colosseum, a beautiful video of a thing, and then it merged both of them where you see the drone flying through the Colosseum first, and then you see the drone become a butterfly, and then you see the surroundings becoming the ocean, and it is so beautiful the way he did it all by itself. Watch this. No human interaction was needed for anything in this video. Not the first video, not the second video, and not the mix between the two. All made through AI completely. That drone becomes a butterfly, poop. And then right here, you can see how the Roman Colosseum slowly starts becoming coral. You can see some of this side becoming coral right there, right? Coral, coral, coral. You can see how the Colosseum is also becoming rusted and becoming coral. And then it just merges. It merges that little area into the ocean, and it just becomes a beautiful little... Like, that's insane, dude. That editing over there is insane. AI did all that by itself. I mean, this content is just gonna get better and better. Now let's watch this one. I haven't seen this one yet. Input 1. So it's kind of like a Western movie. Input 2 is kind of like just Jaws. I don't know what the hell this input 2 is, but weird prompt over there. And then they merged the two. I need to see the video again to see how the merge played out. Okay, so this is the thing. That's the first video. And then now this is where the merge, you start seeing the merge happening. This is where the merges are taking place. You're gonna see so many videos like this now on Instagram popping up once Sora becomes like publicly available. Once it becomes publicly available, you're gonna see a lot of like blending videos like this, and it's gonna make art and things so interesting to create. Like the people with the best prompts are gonna become the best channels now. It's kind of interesting. It makes my mind really spin, really spin. All of these things that you're seeing over here are all AI generated. That's kicking like snow poofs while it's walking. That's amazing. That's so physics and so realistic. What is this? Oh, a static image to life. That's insane. So it took a static image and it brought it to life. And then it added all these cooks by itself. This is a static image generated by DALL-E and Sora's open text to video. So first they use a prompt to create the image, and then they use the image to create the video. You can see how it took the first image and then it started creating the video outside of the image. It didn't really use the image for the video. It kind of used the image idea, and then it generated the video on the side of everything. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if they're able to do what Runway does. Runway is another AI software where you can kind of pick an image and tell it exactly what part of the image you want it to animate, and it does exactly that part of the image. I wonder if they were kind of struggling with it. You can see how this little thing looks messed up over here. That clearly looks messed up, but the rest of it is pretty bang on. That's messed up over there, but it's pretty bang on. His arm's messed up. Yeah, that's pretty damn good, man. That's amazing. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, lost for words. Welcome to the new world. Welcome to the Matrix. Welcome to the Matrix is probably the best way to put it. It's insane. I'm excited. I'm excited. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to call it a night. That was 2 hours of stream. I did not have this time to even stream that long. Honestly, I need to call it a night, so I'm gonna call it here. I will see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Be here or be square. We're gonna look at all things market as always. You guys know where all my fun social media links are, along with my affiliate links, so please go check them out, all down below in the description. Also, make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you think I deserve it. If not, no problem. But shout out to everybody who came out today and hit that like, hit that subscribe. Shout out to everybody who sent super chats. Ani with the $3 super chat, if I remember accurately. And last but not least, Mikey. Can't forget Mikey with another 5 gifted members. Mikey, you're insane. That's like 15 gifted members now. Mikey, I only have 16 members in total, and all of that is because of you. You're insane, dude. Shout out to Mikey, ladies and gentlemen. I have 16 members, and that's all because of Mike. 15 of them gifted and 1 of them himself. Mikey, you're insane. Shout out to Mikey, everybody. You're the real MVP. I will see you guys all tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Have a great night and have an even better trading session tomorrow. Good night.